Hello everyone, I'm back for another update here. Today is May 23rd, 2025, and I am continuing on my long distance touring on a bicycle, and I'm currently in Salem, Illinois. I ended up having to get a room here. There were just no camping options around here. That makes the fourth consecutive night I've had to get a room due to lack of camping along this route. There was a park over in Florida about 30 miles back, but they didn't allow tent camping. Only allowed RVs. So I had to get a room here in Salem. I continued on. So far, Route 50 in Illinois is actually a decent road to ride on most of the time. Only problem is there's Walmart trucks constantly going by. Walmart semi-trucks. They must have a distribution center somewhere along this road. I didn't see it, but some of them don't move over much for you. That's the only drawback. As far as the actual road, there is enough room between the rumble strip and the edge of the road to ride a bicycle comfortably on just about all of it. And it's a decent smooth surface, but because I'm carrying a trailer or towing a trailer behind me, there's times I had to go out into the travel lane. I did that when there was no opposing traffic so people could get by me easily. But other than that, the road itself was great. The weather, though, was up to today was horrible due to 30-mile-an-hour headwinds, which severely impeded my progress. It took me 12 hours just to go from Olney to Salem yesterday because I was battling the wind almost all day, blowing right at me. But this is Route 50 right here. I'm walking along in the west side of Salem, Illinois. Traffic is not too bad on this road. Most of the time, it's just like I say, the trucks once in a while go by. Walmart trucks mainly. So getting into weather, first of all, Soul Cycle 25. They claim there's 99 sunspots today. I looked just a few minutes ago. There's no way. There's less than half that right now. I'm sorry. They're beefing up the numbers. They're counting decayed regions that don't even have any spots. They're counting as 12, 13 sunspots apiece. I saw at least 5 regions, and that should not have been counted today. They're desperately trying to get the numbers up for the month of May because it's pretty obvious solar activity is crashing. And cycle 25 is maximum is over. It's pretty obvious. And the thing that Thing about it is, we need the truth. We need the truth about what's really going on with the sun. And they're hiding it from us. Anybody that wants to do some genuine research, it's very difficult because the data is skewed that they're putting out. It's not an accurate representation of what's really going on. For example, the cosmic ray count. They claim it's still around minus 5%. I don't believe it. With the cloud cover I've seen, the kind of weather I've seen, you see, when we had the solar storms in May of 2024, before that we were at baseline for the cosmic ray count, and it knocked it down to like minus 5, a couple days lower, and it started coming back up. And it was around minus 2, minus 3%. And then, even with the sunspot counts, which I think were inflated last August, I don't think they were over 200 most of the time. But then, unexplainedly, last September, and I had commented on it, it suddenly dropped 5%, the cosmic ray count. Like, where did it come from? There was no increased activity on the sun to account for that. And I had commented on it back when I first saw it. I said, well, why is this cosmic ray count suddenly dropping if there was no big solar storms? It's because they manipulated the data to make the sun look like the cycle look stronger than it really is. Because they don't want people to think, even people who do honest research, they don't want them to come to the conclusion that the sun is the cause of climate change. Man cannot control or influence in a major way the climate. They don't want people to come to that conclusion. So we're getting lied to now about everything having to do with climate, all for an agenda. And the problem with that is, if this solar scientist Rolf Witch, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, German, is correct, mankind is in trouble. Because we're not preparing for what actually might be on the horizon, which is another ice age, due to changes in the sun. According to this German scientist who studied the sun for decades, and it makes sense what he says. Sunspots are going to disappear in 2025. Yeah, he said there wasn't going to be a cycle 25. He was wrong about that, but he did say 8 years ago that sunspots were going to disappear this year. They are disappearing. They're not gone, but they're disappearing pretty quick. And if by some chance he is correct in his timeline, we are in trouble. If you want a verification on it, his name is Rolf, R-O-L-F. His last name begins with a W. Just type it in. He has solid information and proof that the sun is heading in this direction that I'm talking about. So I'm on my way to Wally World now. I just had 8. I gotta pick up a couple food items and I'll be getting ready to head out. Hoping to get close to St. Louis today. Conditions are much better. There's hardly any wind today. I should be able to cover some ground. But the bottom line is, anybody that wants to do honest research is not going to be getting accurate data. For example, cosmic ray count, to try and say is -5%. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think it's closer to baseline, or may even be above that. Based on what I have been seeing with the weather patterns, they dropped it last September because the counts were starting to come back up after those solar storms. They dropped it. 5% below what it actually is. You're doing a great disservice to mankind, because they're not telling us the truth about what the sun is really actually doing. And that anybody that tries to research is not going to have the correct data to make a conclusion on. For example, we have this nor'easter. They call it like it never happened. They're talking like it never happens in May. I've seen plenty of nor'easters in my lifetime off-season happen. I still remember 1978, July 4th, New York City didn't even break 60 degrees that day because of a nor'easter. I'll never forget that. 4th of July, 57 degrees and pouring rain all day. You don't believe me? Go back in the record and look it up. In 1977, June, we had a nor'easter in the Northeast. In May, we had, that year, New England got 6 to 12 inches of snow. It's not like it never happens. They try and say it was the 5th warmest May. This May has been very chilly, as I predicted it would be in the northern tier. I predicted weeks ago that the northern tier of the U.S. was going to be quite cool for the month of May. That there was going to be a clash in the middle of the country between the cool air and warmer air along the Gulf Coast. I predicted that weeks ago, based on MJO patterns I was seeing. So that is going to be it for this video. I will be back soon. I'm hoping to make it to the outskirts of St. Louis today. I will be back soon.